So I had a look at the first video that introduced all of this, and I had to chuckle because being early and doing a video blog, or vlog, obviously I'm going to be a little bit stiff, and I'm not working from a script, so I'm trying to be precise and not forget things. But I decided not to redo it for the sake of making it more presentable, because I do want to get across the fact that the point of our sharing is to be precise, to take maybe somewhat complex ideas, or complex because there's many ideas happening all together, just sort of try to lay them out and make them a little more obvious and a little more understandable. People will ask us, well, who are you and what are your qualifications, and why would I want to know about your opinion with regards to health and fitness and exercise and nutrition, maybe even helping with pain and therapeutics and that sort of thing. And we tell them we're fitness clinicians, and they say, oh, what's that? And I say, are you familiar with what a clinician is? And they think about a clinician, and they understand the clinical format. And I say, are you familiar with what fitness is? And of course, that's when they smile and realize it's just fitness in a clinical format. The point being that where we're useful, I guess you could say, is in being precise. We strip away a lot of the background noise, literally, because some forms of exercise and some forms of fitness are fun to do to music or out in a group. But that's where things get confusing, and that's where people who are fit sort of naturally end up gravitating towards, and the general public who isn't necessarily athletic from birth sort of fades in and out of. And because we take fitness seriously in the sense that it's preventative medicine to healthcare, we think it's useful to be precise. So I'm kind of robotic when I'm speaking here, but I'm not trying to talk to you to just motivate you to do something or to just share a friendly idea. I'm trying to break down an idea as we would analyze an individual in the clinic, so that you can actually take little parts of it and make use of it to improve your health. Fitness is all fun when you have it, but when you don't, it affects your health. And when your health isn't where it could be, it affects your life. I mean, it's pretty much that simple. It's fitness, then health, then your life. So we take what we do seriously, and we did try to have a little bit of fun with the trailer at the end. But here in this particular post, to get sort of back on point, the point is, fitness requires resistance. So you could look at what we do in particular, or the way we demonstrate things, as being our particular bend on what we think about fitness, but it really isn't. We could also go outside and show ourselves running about, and we could go snowshoe and show that, and show you all the different things that you can apply fitness to. But to truly improve fitness, especially if you've lost it or are missing parts of it, you do need, to some degree or other, to sort of dissect and look at the individual parts. And then when you put them back together, whether you put them back together in a routine like we showed with the dumbbells, or a combination thereof, or you utilize equipment, anybody would know that commercial gyms have similar equipment to this that they could use. Or you could go to a class and it sort of combines a sort of a particular action, like spinning on a bike or or doing aerobics on a step, or maybe some weights with the aerobics. You could choose any form of regular activity to stay in shape. But to get in shape and to maximize your health and fitness relative to your individual makeup and your individual goals and your likes and your dislikes and your lifestyle, how much time you have to commit, to make all that actually work, you do need to look at the individual parts, and you do need to understand the basic fundamental of resistance. That's why our accreditation is actually called the International Association of Resistance Trainers. It's a clunky title and not a really easy title to sell. It's just accurate. And from a clinical standpoint, accuracy, precision, and accountability are the #1 facets that make us useful. So this fundamental of resistance, once you start to understand that, that's basically the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of fitness. You'd be surprised how quickly you can go from that point to changing your fitness entirely. The general public, as I mentioned previously, is seeing a huge decline in fitness and therefore a decline in health, yet the amount of different choices you can make for exercise and diets and supplementation and gimmicks that you could use and different types of equipment that are available, it grows and grows and grows, yet fitness is continuing to decline. And that's due, at least in part, to the fact that people have either forgotten or are not interested in or are no longer paying attention to the fundamentals. Basic fundamentals like you need to move regularly, and in our modern life we don't get enough movement, and much of our modern living requires us to do things that degrade our physical body, from either overuse at some small thing or underuse, and usually a combination thereof. So a fitness program which contains exercise rather than just a sport and proper nutrition, it also needs to include exercise, because there's going to be little deficiencies caused in part by modern living and caused in part by the fact that fitness is not really that old a part of medicine. In fact, it's not really considered a part of medicine yet, because it's preventative medicine, and most medicine has to this point been reactive, emergency medicine, life-saving medicine. And using that approach of life-saving medicine to try to keep someone healthy is sort of reductive or regressive, or I don't even know what the word is, just thinking off the top of my head. It's backwards. If you have a reasonable exercise program and reasonable nutrition, and you pay attention to the amount of rest you get, you will feel like being physically active every day. I mean, you might have some weeks that are tougher than others, and you might need to take a day off, but you won't be reluctant to park farther away from where you're going to. You won't feel that you can't handle the cold, or you can't handle the heat, or you'll just handle stress in general better, and therefore you'll be more active naturally, and then you'll be more inclined to sort of fit activity into your lifestyle. You literally won't need to sit at a desk as long if you're a desk person, because it'll be natural for you to get up and move around and go back to your desk, or maybe even set yourself up so that you could stand while you do paperwork or work on a computer. So again, the addition of exercise into a fitness program sounds like a no-brainer, but if you sort of think back to everything I've said here in this blog post, you'll realize what I'm saying is that exercise is sort of somewhat different from just general activity. The exercise that you get from swimming, let's say, or the exercise you get from going for a bike ride, or the exercise you get from a run, has a lot more to do with exercising, practice, getting better at those activities. So someone could be in really good shape from swimming and running regularly, and then they become interested in doing a triathlon, and they jump on a bike, and they've got a lot to learn and a lot to build. Because the swimming and the running didn't really build up the abilities they needed to use on the bike, the particular muscles, the individual type of stamina that biking requires, which is slightly different than swimming and running. So that's where exercise comes in. You know, any great athlete tends to have a exercise program, and that's to help them avoid injury, and that's to help them recover from the stress of the sport, and it's also to help them bring up whatever natural deficiencies they have to benefit their ability to play the sport. And then as they age, they can stick with the sport and stay at a high level, because their body may tend to change with age, but those changes can be dealt with through exercise. So as you start to see this from an overall view, you start to see that exercise is a precise application of physical activity for the benefit of improving your overall fitness. So exercise will place demands on your system, which therefore make the nutrition you ingest, the nutrition you eat, useful. You know, a lot of these supplement companies offer amazing different products out there, and there's all kinds of organic foods, and there's all kinds of different paleo lifestyle choices that you can make. But if there's no demand from your physiology for those nutrients, it doesn't matter what quality they come in, you're not going to utilize them. There has to be a demand. It's the same thing with rest. If you haven't been active, or you've been too active, you might have difficulty with your rest. Exercise helps deal with that. Exercise creates a balanced aspect to your health. You know, it brings up your weaknesses and it maintains your strengths. And this gives you sort of more of an even keel health, keeping you from being a little over-frazzled or a little underwhelmed, which makes rest difficult. So it all sort of works together, and we'll get more into that as blog posts go on, if you aren't totally put off by my video presence. And I'll probably loosen up and smooth out a bit over time. But again, I want to stress the fact that the whole point here is to try to be precise and make things usable, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. Thanks for watching.